We're live episode 9, Fear of the Dragon Queen. Had a little bit of break because of Christmas, so let's get Phil to recap.
We played a game before Christmas, and now we're playing it again.
Sounds about right.
I'm a wee bit confused by the cards. We've all got
right.
30. We all got 33 apart from Phil, who's got 39.
Yep, that's because he screwed up beforehand. That is deck size, so don't worry about it. The lower number is the number in hand.
Doesn't matter the size, but I will use it.
Exactly, so don't worry about that. If anyone's watching, we're talking about...
we'll be in trouble no matter what we did last time. We're in trouble.
Well, it just makes it look like Phil's got a larger deck than the rest of us.
Well, his deck's
it doesn't matter. As soon as
maybe
Becky,
quite sensitive about that.
I'm always sensitive about the size of my deck.
It's not like I actually do that many hands during the course of the game anyway, because we played for such a short period of time, we barely ever do a reveal. So unless there's combat. Speaking of which, I'm sure Phil's recap has reminded us of the situation you're in, hasn't it?
It's pretty accurate.
Absolutely.
Let's not worry about intros because nobody's watching. And anyway, it's episode 9. So going straight into it then. No, brief recap then. You were marching out of Ashford Thune with the Dwarven army. Wyvern turned up with Willow on the back and did a small plot dump, basically telling you to take the army and kill the Nostrum fields, in order to make sure no Nostrum gets made ever again type thing. The Dwarvish army were basically paid to fight on the Queen's behalf. You then proceeded to let the dwarves basically antagonize the Susians rather than sail across the sea and do what they're meant to be doing. So you completely messed that up. Then you got some griffins, which are all now property of Zeev, flew across the water, and you then overfed your griffins, so they can't fly right now. And then as you're pitching your tent that evening, as you're putting in the first tent peg, a tree leans over and says, "Would you please not do that?" And that is where we left it. That was a very brief recap. There you go.
To clarify, they asked us if they could overeat. We didn't make them overeat.
Yes, they asked for permission to overeat, which meant they wouldn't be able to fly for a bit, but they're okay for food for a while.
Yes.
So you did. You let them do it. They ate this big, basically walking ostrich, and they're full, and the bellies look sizable. And this tree kind of has a breath of sawdust as you're there with your hammer and your tent peg going, ooh.
To say a breath of sawdust, like it's breathing sawdust out.
Yeah, it kind of like, it's just, as he speaks, it kind of puts this sawdust kind of smell in the air. In fact, it reminds you a little bit of the scent of Nostrum.
Well, we have to fix the tent to the ground.
In my roots, I don't think so.
Don't your roots go downwards? You would just go around them.
The brambles are my friends.
What if we asked them nicely?
We could just set camp somewhere else, guys.
Yeah, is there a clearing nearby that we could use?
But the grass is our friend too. The grass shimmers.
Could we could we ask the grass nicely?
We are not camping on the beach.
And if you see the sand as your friend as well, I'm going to get very unhappy.
I have no quarrel with the sand.
Do you have any suggestions that would aid us to put up our shelter and get some sleep? without hurting any of
We-
your friends.
We could just sleep in the trees rather than setting up full tents.
You could.
Yes,
Well, yes, I could.
yes, you go right ahead.
I could. I suppose that makes me watch, but at the same time, I'd rather get sleep than get prodded by roots all night. Would you allow me to sleep in your branches?
You can sleep at my trunk.
Would it be okay if we used ropes to tie the canopy up over us rather than?
You want me to carry you all night.
Are you going somewhere?
Not us. No, just the canopy. We're going to sleep under.
To answer the fat cat's question, yes, we are.
Fat?
We got put on a little bit of weight over the last couple of weeks.
What, and you haven't?
I didn't say I didn't.
Well, we could sleep somewhere else.
The tree lowers a branch over Martin and like right down to Martin's ears and kind of starts stroking your ear a bit. You have odd-shaped ears for a cat. You look more like an imperial.
Thank you.
I suppose you didn't see much cats before.
I mean, you would think the tail is a big giveaway that they are not cats, but there you go.
Oh, yes, I see. You
Or
are an
Manx cats.
imperial. You're an imperial.
No, we're not imperial. No,
No.
we come from a bit further away than that.
They are from the Dragon Queen's realm.
Moraine.
You have many woods, I understand. We call that a spinney.
I was going to say, there's not that much more like, yes, a spinney. Or a thicket.
Indeed. So, non-imperial imperials, what are you doing here in our home? Bramble rustles aggressively.
We're looking for a man.
Yes, we're not the first to come here.
He came on some sort of flying contraption. He might have landed close.
Yes, I saw a thing fly over. I wondered what
Yes.
it was.
He's very bad. We're trying to locate him and stop him before he does anything.
He will definitely
worse.
hurt. He will definitely hurt your friends.
I know. He will be dead soon. You all will. Sleep well.
I'm all right with him being dead. I was about to ask, could we watch?
I now severely regret saying that the griffins could overeat. Turns out we did not need to come here at all. We could have just left him here.
No, we couldn't. We had to be sure.
Are you
What?
here to pick our flowers?
No,
No, absolutely not.
we're only here to catch the very bad man and make him very, very
He-
unalive.
He is here to pick your flowers.
We just want to be here, kill him, and get off the island. It's very simple. We have no interest in your flowers. We don't want to hurt the grass. We don't want to hurt the roots. We're happy to be friendly with the sand if you think that'll help. But we just want to kill, we just want to deprive this bad man of his life and get off the island.
Just to be clear, guys, your mission is actually to use the dwarven army to basically destroy all the flowers.
Yeah, I know.
I know, but
Not to pick them.
they're in
Yeah,
this is the Ghostbusters bit. When someone
Hmm.
asks, "Are you here to pick the flowers?" You say, "No."
No worries. Perhaps we shan't kill you then until the raising. You will remain our prisoners until then.
Oh, fantastic!
Until what? Sorry?
What is this raising?
You thought you were the only ones who could destroy a world.
We don't want to destroy anything. We know not a world, certainly.
No.
This tree sounds a little lonely.
Lonely.
No, he's got plenty of acolytes and friends. Sounds like it.
I have the whole forest.
I don't think lonely is the right word.
We
I
are
think
of
the
one
word-
mind.
Not when you're talking to grass, no.
Yeah, I think the word we're looking for is deranged, but very, very nice as well. Yes. Shall we try and make camp
Somewhere
Yes.
else.
Somewhere else.
somewhere else
Somehow.
without hurting the
Grass.
grass?
Well, fortunately, thanks to those awful lessons I had to sit through on uncomfortable chairs, this shouldn't be
Actually,
too difficult.
how many flying creatures do we have?
0,
Oh
For now, 0, but wasn't there 5?
4.
4, yeah.
no, but
Chainbreaker, Chip Talon, Cracked Beacon, Lost Feather.
yeah, but
They'll be fine after
they're
sleep.
still we still have them. They're just that's what I mean. They're still
They're curled up at the moment, all on top of each other.
I was going to say, like,
basically.
sleeping or something.
yeah.
It's like a clatter of cats all
Can't
just
we
on top of each
can't
other.
we use them to anchor the canvas and just sleep near them?
What's the weather like? Is it looking good or
It's a bright, sunshiny day with cloud on the horizon.
we might be
Oh,
all right
God.
just sleeping out tonight, perhaps for a one-off.
The way you said that is troubling. Are these clouds dark? Are they thick? Has the winds changed direction? Okay, fuck. So let us not camp on the beach, right exposed to that thing when that gets here.
No, okay, yes. Perhaps we move inland a bit further and maybe find a house or a building a barn we can sleep in.
Perhaps. I was just thinking, actually, can I tell which way the wind's blowing? If there is any wind at the moment.
Easterly.
Yeah, okay. Even more incentive not to sleep on the beach. Yes, I suggest we find somewhere inland.
Hmm.
There is the settlement to the south.
There is, yeah.
We could perhaps try there.
I suppose.
Okay, so
I
you
suppose.
trek off because you're quite tired. Like this is the start of the day, but you are tired because you've just spent a day and a half flying, basically. And you've landed sort of mid-morning. So you trek off and you're quite exhausted. And you head basically along the coast, I presume, if you're heading to that settlement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm telling you now, if they're
Stepping on
wearing
grass.
if there are residents and they're wearing animal masks, we are leaving. We are leaving
Or
fast.
plant
We are not.
masks as well.
We are not coming back.
So you follow the coast around, and after most of the day walking, and the trees, you notice they are moving in the opposite direction to you. So you've got like a beach, and grass and rocks and stuff like that. But the trees that are inland, throughout the course of the day, you do notice that they are moving northerly. So when you stop for eat, you actually can see they move about 5 meters in that time.
Well, the moment is good because it means that they are not going to bother us, but I do worry.
All the plants on this island like this.
Well, let's see if you can work that out. Can you make me what's it going to be?
Geology or something?
No, I think it's probably going to be either some kind of coastal or rural environment check.
Okay, I have one in both of those things.
No,
if
I just
C's
have one in
counts as
rural.
coastal.
I've got one in rural.
My cards are okay-ish, but
Yeah, mine are utter shit.
Okay, if you want to give it a go.
Yeah, I've got one in rural as well.
Okay, so whoever takes it can get an advantage card from all the help from everyone else.
all right, I'll take it.
And I don't have great cards.
Okay. So right, okay. So boom, boom, boom. Ooh, okay. That's not terrible. I think, yeah, I'm just gonna do this because why not?
Okay, well, there's no need for the advantage card. You succeed. Yeah, you notice even the grass is actually slowly moving. And what was happening is they're pulling their roots out, sliding them across the ground, and then digging them in a bit further along. So it's sort of like a slow concertina effect as it gradually shifts its way along.
They're going the opposite way from where we're going.
Yes.
Correct. They're all going north.
Everything's going
Right.
north.
So just to clarify in my head, the grass and all the trees are moving away from this settlement that we are going to.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, they're going towards.
Why are we going
where
to the settlement? Even the grass doesn't want to be there.
Well, they're going towards the nostrum, aren't they? I wonder if it's the nostrum that makes the area.
It's either that or there's going to be a massive tsunami that comes in on the south coast. One of those things.
I do believe they're all rallying according to what the tree just told us.
Yeah, for this, what's it called? A
Raising.
routine or a raising. Yeah, that'll be it, won't it? All the grass blades stand on top of each other until they're risen above the sky. I don't know.
Before the plants bugger off, at least we can put a picture.
That would be interesting to see, actually.
That is true, actually. Yes. Perhaps we don't have to go right into the settlement after all. We are tired.
Well, what you find throughout the course of much of this day, you keep moving after lunch because, of course, there's just more grass coming. But eventually, towards the end of the evening, you get to the grass starts to get quite thinned out, and then you're just walking across barren earth, and you can see the settlement ahead, a few miles away. There is a watchtower with 2 people in, and there are 2 more guards at the base of it riding those ostrich things.
Okay. Do they just look like normal humans?
Yeah, they do. They're milling around. Speaking of which, there's also a mill, but that's in the town. Looks like a reasonably sized settlement. You can see a big granary. You can see some temples. There appears to be like a quite big grand courthouse in the imperial style. And the architecture looks vaguely imperial.
I was going to say, is it all stone or?
Yeah, it's stone. There is no wood.
Yeah.
Because
presumably the mill isn't a sawmill either.
No.
This was all part of the empire in the past, wasn't it?
Yes, and actually, as far as you know, the Empire, after the last war with the Ihirians, the Empire has maintained a presence here in the south of Ihiria.
So that could be this place.
Yeah. They used to have a lot more settlements here. It was a much, there's a lot of ruins out towards the east of Ihiria, which used to all be imperial settlements.
Yeah, given how the diplomacy with the Griffin panned out, I'm not going to do the talking with the guards. So if we want to approach, I may assist. But the less I talk, the better it is.
Well, I think we should do
Also,
it.
what are we going to tell them? That we are here on some sort of trip and that we need a place to stay for the night?
Yeah, I think so. Don't give them too much information.
Yes, I would say
Or
so.
simply that we lost our boat in a storm and we've swum to shore, although we are a little bit dry.
I'd go along with that story. My only worry is that if that watchtower is constantly manned, they might have seen the flying things.
This is true.
Also, that there
might
wasn't
have-
any storm in the near past,
Yeah,
so that wouldn't add up.
not an impossible sell, but slightly more difficult. No, I like that we're traveling.
Ask them about the balloon, and if they say they saw four flying things, then yeah, it's not necessarily us.
Yeah. We saw some flying things.
So did we.
So did we.
I didn't.
That's because you were afraid to look up in case they shat all over you from a high height.
Right, well, on that note, maybe we should get some beds because seriously, I am so tired.
Are you approaching who's approaching the guards to
Yeah,
talk?
or do you approach them and hail them as
Yeah. Greetings.
So as you approach, the two riders kind of ride out to flank you, and then one of the guards on the watchtower shouts down in Iambic. Does anyone speak Iambic?
All of us. do.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Travelers, who are you?
Well, we are simply that. We are travelers. We have traveled to here. We need somewhere to sleep.
Do you bring food?
I can't speak it. Sorry.
Not particularly, but we can purchase food.
Not
if there
from
is some
us.
sort of- Why not?
You have a
Our
shortage?
food left, so we have a shortage. No one comes in this town unless they bring food.
Ah,
Oh
must have-
God! It wasn't just the grass, the barley, and oats. And the wheat, just fucking
We have some of our own.
walked and all.
We must have our rations.
You've got a small amount of food on you, yeah. But you hunted your last meal. You got one of these ostrich-type birds.
yeah, but they're riding on them, which makes me wonder if they don't like killing them.
Possibly not.
And the problem is as well, because all the friggin' trees are going to fuck off, that means that there's not going to be many animals around here either. We could catch some fish for them.
Yeah, fish in the sea.
We have
Ching.
fishing boats. We also have a population to feed.
Are you not expecting us to feed all your population, right?
No, we're expecting you to be able to feed yourself and bring additional food. No one comes in without food.
Okay,
I'm
so
sure
we're
there
camping.
was.
We're camping out. We're camping out with the town then. Sorry.
Wasn't there some mythological man who got all this fish for people? The name
Oh.
escapes me.
Jesus Christ! Do you have to keep on going on about stuff like that? Come on, let's just.
Well, I can catch a few fish, or try to at least.
Okay. Do you want to make a test for that?
I mean, I've never really caught a lot of fish myself, but I'm just thinking I'm probably going to be good because I have claws, but I might be shit, so I don't know.
Yes, but you're also
Hmm.
a cat who's about to get dipped into the water. This cannot end well.
Yeah, some
Just
cats are
dipping
fine
it.
with it.
Yeah.
But having said that, Zeev's type of cat is more of a desert cat, so
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
I suppose
Well-
we could all have a go at fishing.
Are there? Is it all like flat, sandy beaches, or are there some rocks nearby that I can maybe perch
It
on?
is actually quite a rocky coast, in fairness, largely.
Okay.
There's lots
in
of
that
little
case-
tiny offshore islands and things like that.
Okay. In that case, I'll try and find a rock that I can sort of perch on and lean in, and either
Okay.
sort of swipe some fish up with my paws, or maybe use my rapier to kind of stab a bit like a harpoon.
Okay, let's have your cards.
What
Go
test are we
coastal
doing?
Coastal environment, and I assume everyone's trying to help, so I'll grant one advantage card.
Please, please, please. Okay. Fantastic. Because okay. I think I'm gonna go for this again. Ooh.
Okay, you succeed, and you've caught 5 fish
There we go.
between.
Hopefully they're not little tiny minnows.
You haven't got minnows, no, but well, it's probably going to be crabs and things like that. Because it'll be stuff on the shore, won't it? And stuff all around the shore.
Could be sea bass.
You're not really going out that deep, though, are you?
No.
Oh, sea bass come right into the shore.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a couple of sea bass and some crabs. 3 crabs. Or 2
Hopefully-
crabs and an oyster. How about that?
Hopefully everyone likes fish or as tough.
Okay, so you turn back up at the town. It is now late at night.
Oh
And
God.
you're really tired because you haven't slept in days. And much the same thing happens. They ride out and flank you as you approach. And so you've got food now, have you?
Yes, we have food. Thanks to our friend Eve.
Food.
Okay. Basically, the 2 riders come in. And one of the cards comes down the watchtower, comes up to you with a basket and says, in it goes.
You just said it was food for us.
What have
And
you got?
additional food.
Couple of bass, yep. I'll take the crabs, fucking keep the oyster.
Oh, I know, step between 4 of us.
It's tough times.
Damn right.
And
Oh, so I suppose we'll look for the big fat person in his ivory towers then, who has the rest of those.
it's not ivory, it's made of stone.
Ah, my mistake.
It's dark, you know.
Yes.
His eyesight is not what it used to be.
Especially as we're very
Well,
tired.
you can come in or go in, whatever. We're going to get the fire going.
Is
Enjoy your
cold?
food, you bunch of baskets.
Is it cold to us as well?
What, the weather?
Yeah, because you were kind of rubbing your hands a bit, and he was saying get a fire going and stuff.
Well, it's because he wants to eat his food. Or eat
Oh,
his
it's
food,
just
rather.
it's not attached to get in. He's just going to nick it then.
He's just taken it and they're
Yeah.
going to have it themselves, yeah.
What's the fucking hell?
Bugger.
Feeding little baskets.
Well, we're serene, I suppose. Find somewhere to sleep.
Okay, you head into the town. It is all stone architecture. There isn't much in the way of wood around here, it has to be said. There is the occasional hanging basket, but you notice that the baskets are pretty much empty of any flowers now. It's just the soil. But people are on the streets. Some people go inside as you approach, like because you're walking along. Don't forget the 4 griffins behind you. So a lot of people go inside as you approach and clear the street. Like young children are ushered inside and that kind of thing. But you find a town centre as it was. And as I said before, it is a reasonable sized town. You reckon there's probably a few thousand people live in this settlement.
Decently warm reception.
But you get into the centre of the town. And yes, it is very much imperial. So, lots of, pretty much a all human settlement. But as you get into the town centre, you do see a group of Susians. And you also see their boat. So, because you can tell it's covered in hide and is very much made out of dead Susians. They, are just kind of sitting outside a place.
Is it obviously an inn or something? Or
that's the thing, because you haven't got the cultural references, and you're not seeing any written stuff to denote places as being of a certain type. So whatever is distinguishing things, you've up until now failed to pick it up. But as you get closer to that particular building, you do realise it is a little bit rowdy within.
Also, I just remembered I have a major wound.
Oh, nice.
Arrow to the shoulder.
You should have been getting a disadvantage, cancelling out your advantage. But then again, you had advantage on both checks, so it's fine.
So actually, it's fine.
So actually, it was 0, yeah.
But yeah, if we happen to see any more wounded people staggering into a building on the way to the rowdy building, then I'd love to visit the wounded building.
Yeah, same.
you're apothecary.
Well, the temples do kind of stand out because they are temples. And you could try there. I mean, generally, temples are a good place for travellers to go.
I'll get you to an inn, get some ale down you. You'll feel better then.
Yeah.
No, because I believe in less crude things than ale as medicine. I'm happy to have a few drinks when I'm a bit better, but I like the idea of sleeping in a temple as well. It's probably very calming in there.
Well, have some libation. It will help you sleep.
So you going to the tavern or are you going to a temple?
I think they're force feeding me ale by the sounds of it.
We're not force feeding you. We're just making a very, very strong
If you don't feel
representation.
If you don't feel like drinking ale and coming to the temple, if you don't mind, being slightly wounded myself.
Given the fact that it's bitterly cold and we've had and the bitterly cold weather is probably second to the bitterly cold reception we've gotten so far, I'm having a drink.
Yeah.
Okay, so Finny and Martin heading to the pub, Zeev and Gamlerad heading to a temple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's plenty of fires at a temple. Come on.
Yeah, burning all the witches. Okay, let's deal with the temple first. So you go into a temple. You can't tell what they're called or anything. You don't know the local religions. So you go into a temple. There's two, for want of a better word, 2 nuns and a priest milling around inside this temple. It isn't like a church with rows of seats or anything like that. It's got 4 supporting columns. At one end of the room is an altar. There are doors off of the main room that you've walked into. It's reasonably well appointed with furnishings and pictures on the wall. Pictures on the wall presumably are telling some religious story of some kind. And there's lots of rugs on the floor. and there's a few people sat in a small circle having a discussion in one corner of the room.
Are they on rugs as well?
Yes, everyone sat on rugs and pillows.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say we approach the priest and the nuns first
Mhm.
Yeah.
to see if they can actually
Yeah.
accept
They
us
smile
into
and
the-
welcome you in, but in iambic. So do you
I'm
both
happy
speak
to
iambic?
translate.
Mhm.
Okay,
you do.
that's fine. Don't translate.
So welcome to the Temple of the Sea of the Trident. Please have a seat, and I see you are wounded. Are you also
Yes.
wounded, Gavnerad?
Yeah, I got a major wound and 4 minors wounds.
Okay, what's your vitality?
My vitality is 8.
Oh, okay, you're fine for now anyway on the minor wound front, but yes, the major is an issue. So, are you here to have your wounds treated and
Yes, please. And if you have spare beds, that would be very helpful as well.
I was going to ask, I could tell from your accent you're not local. I don't
No.
recognise you either. It's not that big a town.
Yeah, indeed, we are travelers. We had
Okay.
a rough journey here. So
Do you happen to have food by chance?
We have 1 oyster. The rest of our food was taken at the gate.
Ah. So are you looking to be fed tonight?
My priority at the moment is this arrow wound and some sleep, but Gamlarad might think differently about food.
no, it's fine. Also, I actually think we'll be leaving not first thing tomorrow, but pretty close to it. So we won't be bothering you much longer with our presence and needs.
Well, we will take coin. It's just, I thought I'd ask what the food situation was, given you may have heard of our circumstances here.
Mhm.
But
Coin
yes,
is fine. We can do coin.
and you actually have quite a bit, don't you?
I've got
I've
100
got-
crowns. Yeah.
Yeah, I got 170.
Okay. Which is usually a night would be a couple of crowns, but if you'd like to eat, I'm afraid we will have to charge more at the moment.
What about 10 for the both of us?
Oh, that is a very generous donation indeed. Thank you very kindly for your donation. Please come this way, and they take you through to treat your wounds and stuff. And basically, nurses come along and clean out the wounds. And it's a little bit uncomfortable at times as they get into the wound and clean it, but they do treat it as best they can and put various herbs on, which basically do next to nothing. And we will come back to you, but basically by the morning you can take 2 off of your wounds rather than 1.
God.
Come the next
All
day.
of them?
Come the next day, yeah. Assuming you continue to get rest, but of course that depends on how badly Martin and Finney fuck up. So Martin and Finney go to the pub, and I assume your griffins are probably have you taken them to the temple rather than the pub, or where are the griffins?
Bill is muted. Good point. I suppose it depends if they like drinking or not.
I was going to say, can we maybe try and get them some stables or something so they can get some sleep?
Yeah.
More dry.
Yeah, stable master will basically ask for. First of all, doesn't really know how to handle griffins. So, what do they need? Do they need hay and all this kind of stuff? There's some confusion over that. Should they be kept in isolation from the feather legs? And so there's some confusion over that, at which point it becomes apparent that the griffins will indeed eat the damn things. So it ends up with him asking for 5 crowns, which is steep.
But it's not a problem for us, though, 5 crowns. Give them hay to sleep on so they're nice and warm and comfortable. They shouldn't eat too much because they've just eaten quite a bit, but keep the horses away from them.
Yes.
Okay, so you pay 5 crowns.
Yeah. I'll take it off of mine.
Okie doke. And you head into the tavern. You go inside. It is quite busy. Men and women are in here. There are some people apparently having sex in the corner, and the alcohol is flowing.
I think
Okay,
we might
well-
be screwed on prices.
We'll have some alcohol to start, and we'll see how the evening goes.
You are
Barman?
greeted in iambic. Welcome, travellers. Welcome, welcome.
Ah,
Sorry, no, he says welcome, sailors. Actually, he's assuming you're a sailor.
who
Oh
are?
yeah, we're not going to try and correct them too much on that, I don't think. But thank you very much. I'll have some ale.
Yes, 2 pints of your finest ale, please.
Yep, barley ale.
I'm surprised that hasn't walked off and went off as well.
No, if it's brewed, if it's already dead and out the ground, it's fine. It's just the stuff that's still growing that's disappeared. Yes.
What is it with the plants around here? Why are they all? We saw them heading north earlier today.
Ah, the living forest. Yeah. Well, the living forest is. Oh, how much history do you want?
The basic stuff.
Well, the living forest has always been on this island since the shattering. And they go, yes, sir, hang on, I'll be right back. And basically, over the course of a few hours, you get a piecemeal bit of history, which is basically a living forest sprung up in the shattering, and there was a bit of a fight, a misunderstanding, the Imperials call it, as to why this forest had turned up as one of the cities that was hit quite badly in the shattering. The people who attacked the forest, chopped it down for firewood and stuff like that. Whereas if you ask the forest, they're all like, no, we turned up to give berries and food and aid, and they started cutting us down. So the forest has never much liked Imperials, but has kind of left them alone on the island. But recently, a few conversations that have been had with some of the sentient trees, they're like they seem manic. There's something about one of them even ranted about the world ending, and then you get into kind of rumors, and so one of them's talking about bringing the landmass together and making this part of the mainland, and all this kind of stuff. You get all sorts of weird rumors.
Well, we did have a conversation with a tree earlier that went very similarly, actually.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't dueling with a whole branch.
Talking about this grazing.
He was talking about
Raising, that's what it was. It a silent,
Raising.
was it a silent G? Maybe.
Yeah, he
sounds.
did seem a bit insane.
No
Yeah, I'll tell
idea
you
what
what,
they're
this
planning,
is-
to be honest.
This ale's good.
It's not bad for barley.
It's not bad at all.
So how do you keep your plants in place long enough to grow barley then?
The crops have never been sentient before.
Oh, okay. This is
So-
the grass. The grasses seem to be so. I mean, so it's a type of grass, isn't it? So I did wonder.
Yes, it's yes. I mean, I take it then. That's the reason why all your flower baskets are currently just baskets.
Everything just up and left.
Bloody rude of them.
Just up and left.
In my
Honestly,
opinion.
My home, which is out the back of this town, facing the other way, I used to have a lovely creeping vine up the side of it. It looked like a lovely little cottage. It's all gone.
The cottage or the vine?
The vine.
Well,
Is
it's
this
taking
just
the bloody cottage with it.
Cracks in
This
the
is-
stonework now.
Is this the first time it happened, or is this like a annual event, or?
No, this has not happened before.
I must admit that given this unprecedented phenomena, you people seem to be taking it very much in your stride.
They do.
No one seems to be in a state of panic about the fact that every bit of grass, crop, flower, anything with a root has up and bloody buggered off north.
You've come into a pub?
What? Yes, I've come into
In the
a
corner,
pub.
you can hear somebody orgasming.
Yes, see, there's
You
a
sure it's
point.
a-
Right, there's a point right there.
You sure it's a
Your
pub?
entire ecosystem has went north for the winter, and you still got people orgasming in your pub. Unless you're going to tell me that that isn't a normal thing that happens either.
What? No. You're not from Imperial territory, of course, so let me bring you up to speed. We're quite a liberal people with sex.
No, I was referring to you use.
I mean, if you were more handsome, I'd invite you back to me and my wife's house tonight, but you're not, so...
Trust me, I've been hearing that all my life. Now, so all of this stuff has went north, leaving you pretty much barren.
Well,
Did you get any warning that this was going to happen, or did they just up and go?
We've had rumours for a few weeks from people who've spoken to the living forest, and we're seeing more of their saplings returning from overseas of late. Seem to be rejoining the forest.
So it's not just the local lads then.
Well,
It's an international convention of roots.
The living forest has long since sent out saplings, over to the mainland to learn about the world, and then they invariably come back. Sometimes they take root. But...
Do you know where they're going when they go north? Where they headed?
Probably the Nostrum Fields or to Aheria, but my guess would be the Nostrum Fields. Everything on this place seems to revolve around that.
I've just
this whole settlement's because of the Nostrum Fields.
Finney, old boy, I think all those plants have went north to get high.
It might be possible with Nostrum. Yes. I think we should be headed north in the morning.
Do we really want to perhaps? Do we really want to endanger ourselves again? I mean, we didn't do too well with it last time. But I don't see that we have much choice.
We have to go north.
Yeah, right. Just while we're on the subject of things going north, did you happen to see a nice big balloon flying northwards?
I heard a rumour about that. No, I haven't. But yes, people have spoken about this thing in the sky.
Anyone that's here?
Big round thing with something hanging underneath.
You ask around in the pub, and eventually there's the guy was in the corner.
That guy.
No longer is in the corner. He comes up to the bar to smoke a pipe and get a drink. It's like, yeah, I saw that. I saw that indeed. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Oh.
I'm rather worried about the fact that this guy's got a Cornish accent. Well,
no, it's more a case of him out of breath.
Oh, were you one of the people enjoying
no more for me tonight, thanks.
Strenuous exercise.
No more for me tonight. I don't care what you're paying.
What ale or your other
No.
entertainment?
I can't take any more. My cock's as sore as a hangover.
He was offering you a drink, not anything else. He wanted to
Oh.
know whether you wanted to have a pint of ale. He was going to buy you it.
If there's nothing to it, then yeah, of course.
Okay. Ale for our new friend. He looks like he needs a bit of sustenance.
Indeed.
I tell you
Might
what,
actually.
I tell you what, Finney, he might be knackered, but he's still a horny bugger, isn't he?
Not really. I'm done.
Well,
So
he
you
thought
saw-
you
you
were
saw
at it.
You saw this balloon this morning, then?
Yeah. Yeah, red thing. Floating
Headed
over.
north. It went north. Is it? How high was it? Do you think?
Couple of leagues.
Still pretty high. Damn it! It's not coming down for a while, is it?
Well,
Depends.
it headed up toward the mountains, toward the north.
Was it going over the mountains rather than towards the fields then?
Didn't seem like if it was heading for the fields, it wasn't doing so with any kind of aim. But the guy was paddling out the side, trying to, I guess, row more toward the fields, I guess, based on the direction he was doing it and the direction he was moving. Didn't seem to have much control, though.
Well, no,
That could be a bonus.
it's yeah. I'm not sure whether that's a good or a bad thing at this point. Although in saying that, if he has crashed in those fields with all those plants and stuff around it, they might give him a kicking for us.
If he crashes into the forest and breaks some branches, they might well do.
No, the forest was passing around the southern peninsula. It went around the mountain. It's now heading up north.
He passed over them. Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
Guess we're going mountaineering then.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
I think we should go straight to the fields.
I mean, unless you're trying to find one of the last few feather feet in the wild, you're best avoiding the mountains.
Well, we know the person in the balloon. One of the things we want to do is find him, but we have other business as well.
Yes, we have to make sure that he's perfectly safe, so we can kill him properly.
Completely out of harm's way.
Completely out of harm's way.
Well, that's me done. I'm going to go for a swim in the sea and then head home.
We have to make sure that his balloon gets up in the air again, and then he needs to go. Then he needs to take a long dive off it.
Sharon, you want a skinny dip? And then he heads off out with the woman.
I thought you said he finished.
Can't have a bath.
I think he's going to find his God knows what wind.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be his second wind the way he was going.
The other two, for dinner, you are served a porridge, basically, with a little bit of greenery on the side, but not much. And a small amount of bread.
Better than nothing, I guess.
Porridge with greenery. What,
Yeah,
like coriander or something?
No, a little side plate with a few leaves of lettuce or something. A little bit of salad, but not much. So porridge, a bowl of porridge, a little bit of salad, and a small bit of bread.
Well, as you said, Gamrad, it is better than nothing. Just a strange combination of foods.
It's what we have at the moment in the temple.
Yeah, it's just acting picky. That's not a real issue.
I'm sorry. Although, do you mind maybe, Gamrad, if I have the oyster?
No, please do.
Okay. So it seems then that you are mostly uninterrupted by shenanigans then, as the other two actually went and got plot info rather than started trouble. Of course, what they haven't done yet is found anywhere to sleep. So let's see if they screwed that up before we go to break. So what do you guys intend to do for finding lodgings for the night? You're muted, Phil.
I was just thinking we might drink, we pass out and just sit where we are.
Well, that's possible. However, I'm wounded, so it's a minor wound rather than a major one. But I'd like to actually have a bed for the night. Barkey, is this an inn as well? Do you have lodgings?
What? We've got cubicles.
I don't even want to know. I was about to ask a question there, and then I realized it's going to sound really, really suspect when I asked to see the size of his cubicles.
Well, it's a double bed.
It is that sort of establishment.
It's a tavern.
We would like to rent your cubicle for what time is it now?
I don't know. It's dark.
For up until 2 hours past sunup.
You guys have got stamina.
Trust me, we're going to be sleeping. We won't be requiring any servicing. We just
How are you
want
paying?
the bed.
Imperial or gold?
Crowns, yeah, crowns.
They both sometimes have the word crown. So imperial crowns or gold?
I can't remember what we had. Crowns,
It'll be
yeah.
gold.
We're
Yeah,
paying with gold.
gold.
Yeah, we'll pay
Yeah,
gold.
paying with gold. Well, then 3 crowns it is.
Give them the 3 crowns.
Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
We certainly intend to. I'm going to do the most incredible amount of fuck all, and I'm going to.
You'll find the door to the bar will be locked in a few hours, but you can still get out via the rear exit.
That's all right. That's all right. Rear exit.
Okay.
Rear exit.
You
Is
get
gonna be a
into
picture of the night.
an essentially undecorated room. There's nothing in here other than a bed. It's not clean.
You paid all that money for this.
I mean,
Hold
it's
on.
dry and it's warmish.
I go back down to the bar. Barkeep, I'm well aware that you probably don't have a particularly your clientele don't usually care too much about the quality of the bedding. I do. Could we have clean sheets and bedding, please?
That's what we've got.
I head back up to the room.
Did you
Do
tell
you
him?
want the good news? Oh, I told him. I made my point. I made my views absolutely clear. Sadly, it bounced off him. He said that they only have these. That this is as good as it gets.
Oh,
So I'm
dear, that's
afraid
not
we're just gonna have to make do.
sure it is then.
I mean, they're dry.
If I try and open these sheets and they're stuck in any way, I'm sleeping on a fucking chair.
Oh, look, there's nothing crusty, but it's definitely heavily stained.
Finny, if I vomit in the middle of the night, I'm not sure whether I'll make it to the privy or whether I should just throw up on here, because I don't think it's going to make a fucking bit of difference.
It won't make any difference. He says, slinging his pack into the corner and putting his cloak on the ground.
Okay, so Finny and Martin, your heals are healed by 1. Zeev and Gamlered, your wounds are healed by 2. Let's take a short break and we'll come back momentarily.
All right.
Just to ask, I've got a wound, minor wound, and it says 7 on it. Does that mean that whole wound is gone, or is
No,
it down
it's
to
now
6?
a minor wound 6.
Okay. Thank you.
Plants getting high. Who'd have thought it?
Hello.
Hello.
Well, I'm rooting for them.
Hello.
Hello, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Oh, what you got, Jason?
Still my homebrew, but it's just
Oh, is it?
freezing because it's
It's-
outside.
It's looking nice. Nice colour.
Well, I've just put some CO2 in because it's eventually now started to lose its carbonation. But yeah, it's now finally gone clear, which I'm pleased about.
Okay, you've done it in a barrel again, have you?
Yeah, I tried doing it. Well, I didn't try doing it in bottles. That was the original idea, but in the end, I just couldn't be asked because all the sterilizing the bottles and finding a container to put them in, and it's like, fuck it, I'll just do it in a barrel.
That is a problem, but I have had more success with bottles than a barrel, personally.
Yeah, there's pros and cons with both of them.
Yeah. It's a lot of hassle. Bottling is a lot of hassle.
I might do the next one though, because I've got this like little brewing sugar pastel thing. So you just put one in each bottle rather than the whole a spoonful measured this. And
Okay, I've not primed bottles before. I don't do that.
You don't prime the bottles.
No.
What? But what? Why?
It's fine. It works out. It works right. I don't prime the bottles.
Presumably, you prime it in the bucket first.
Yeah, it's all done straight to the. You take it from your secondary fermentation. Take it straight from secondary fermentation straight into the bottle.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But it is hassle bottling. It's just fiddling. You've got bottles everywhere. Ideally, it needs to be higher than where your bottle is, so you get your gravity feed. And and they say sterilising bottles is a pain in the ass.
Zeev and Gamlered, you
Yes.
are awoken to knocks on your door.
Oh, sorry. What I meant to ask before we started again was, do we reduce all our wounds by 2, or just the
Correct.
major one? Okay.
All wounds are reduced by 2.
Okay.
You have received half decent
Sorry.
medical care from voluptuous virgins or something. Anyway, you are awoken by knocks at your bedroom door, or bedroom doors, because you have your own small room. It's plain. There's a side table. There's a vase that has no flowering on the table in both. Presumably there used to be flowers before they upped and walked off. In both your cases, in comes an acolyte and lets you know that breakfast is being served in the main temple. We do ask all of our residents to at least arrive for breakfast to pray.
I've just got one eye open at this point in that kind of, guarded eye thing that cats do. And I then sort of big yawn, stretch, if I must, but I'm still very tired.
It is our way.
I suppose praying is a bit like sleeping, though, right? So, very nice.
And you are basically led back into the main temple. There is a big table set up in the temple. And when I say table, it's actually quite low to the ground because it's cushioned seating.
Okay.
But it is a raised platform, as it were. And on that raised platform are a number of plates, each with a fish on.
Oh, it was worth coming down.
There is a small tankard, like half-sized tankard of ale next to each fish, and a glass of water.
I'm assuming that
Please.
Gamma has come down as well.
I
Yeah,
shall
of course
say, yes.
I'm coming down.
Please take a seat, and we will pray.
Is the prayer long?
Just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Oh, great trident of the sea, please accept a worthy sacrifice of these fish. And it goes on and on about how these fish are going to be sacrificed for a few minutes, leaving you wondering if you're actually going to get to eat them at all, because it sounds like they're a sacrifice. But the prayer does go on about, please, delivering us from our current famine and so forth. Before things get desperate, that things aren't desperate. You get the impression, or you learn that things aren't desperate yet, but they will be if things don't, get sorted.
Zeev's mind wanders off and thinks of fantasies of killing all the guards and spilling all their fish all over for everyone to eat.
And then at the end of it, the head priest starts cutting the fish up and begins to eat it. But nobody else at the table, none of the other acolytes, none of the nun-like characters. There's no other guests, you notice, but none of them are eating their fish yet, just the head priest. Do you?
No, I'm waiting for a sort of signal that we are allowed to eat, if we are.
The priest then, after he's finished eating, he gets out a bowl and passes it around the table, and all the acolytes put a little stone in. But the bowl is past you, so you don't or handed to you, but they kind of gesture to pass it on.
Okay.
So
We weren't given a little stone at any point, were we?
No.
No. I just have a quick glance inside the bowl. What sort of stones are they?
They all appear to have initials carved in.
Okay. Okay, so maybe like a register or something. And okay, I pass it on.
Okay. When he comes back around to the head priest, he rummages his hand inside, kind of looks away, and pulls out 2 stones.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's fine. I just have a feeling I know what he's going to do.
Okay. He pulls out 2 stones, says their initials, kind of does a little blessing to them, and those 2 people stand up and walk away from the table. The priest also walks away, although he just goes off in a different direction. And then everybody else eats, and it's then you realise that there aren't actually enough plates here for everyone sat at the table.
I wasn't sure if he was going to just kill the 2 of them because there wasn't enough, but yeah,
No.
I was close.
No, they're going hungry because they're feeding you. And you have breakfast, and it's all, quite tasty for what it is. Finney and Martin, you are awoken by a knock at the door.
Oh, yes.
It's too early, Mum.
The door creaks open, and there is a Susian there. The Susian does what you think passes for a smile, says, and pointing at Martin, because Martin's on the bed, yeah?
Don't even start with that. No, I'm suddenly very awake. No, thank you. No, you mean breakfast is ready? Fantastic. We'll be down in just a moment.
And then points at Finney.
No, breakfast.
Breakfast, yeah.
Closes the door and wanders off. You hear her knocking at another door.
That was a close run thing.
It could have been, yes.
I mean,
And
I'm
then
sure she would have been
are.
nice and all that, but just mission.
You wake up in a sweaty, dirty room.
Oh, get ready then and go downstairs and try and find something to eat, I suppose.
The
We'll try
tavern
and
is locked
catch
up.
up with Zeev and Gamrad as well. See if they're all right.
The tavern is locked up.
Oh, I wonder where they open.
Service? Maybe the wrong word to use. Food?
So you bang on the bar door, or the interior bar door, as it were, because you're within the building, and nothing.
I've just read what Jason's written there.
We had an experience once upon a time.
Someone walked into your room? Or is that an embellishment?
It wasn't that
apart
bad.
from that bit, but even so, yeah.
There were a lot of noises keeping us up through the night.
Ah,
And it wasn't just that, it was all sorts of things. Because, it was somewhere in Birmingham. So, there were police chases, there were boy races, there was music until 3 a.m. There was a couple fucking at 6 a.m. We did not sleep that
She was faking it.
particularly well. She was,
Oh,
definitely.
that story, I've heard that bit.
Yeah.
But then there was
the
no
rough night.
breakfast when we came downstairs. Like there was just nobody there.
Yeah,
Oh,
no one there. And all the cleaners that were there was like, oh, you could try in town. It might all be closed though. It's a Sunday. Might have to go into the centre of Birmingham.
Yeah.
And we weren't in the centre of Birmingham. We were in one of the districts. It was like
Birmingham.
40-minute walk. But when you woken up and haven't had breakfast and you got a shower and then
And just slightly hungover as well. Well, not slightly,
Yeah.
quite a lot hungover.
oh, yeah, was not a good morning.
No.
Anyway, you're having something of that experience because this place isn't open for food.
oh. I wonder if there's someone else we can go for food then.
excuse me. Does anyone know where we can get some grub this time of morning?
You can hear the sound of a Susian shagging someone.
I have a feeling we're not going to get a response anytime soon. If you know that there's anywhere open for food, grunt twice.
Oh.
Someone's doing bacon.
Is that back bacon, is it?
Well, if we can go out the back door. He said it's unlocked, and we can go out there and find something else, maybe in the town, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay, you you head out into the rear courtyard, and there's the three of the 4 Susians you saw outside the place last night are actually in the courtyard around a picnic table, eating some kind of slop.
I'm not even going to dignify.
Yeah,
that.
I think it's not even worth talking. We'll just leave.
You walk past them then.
We're just getting offered slop otherwise, aren't we?
Yeah.
You head out and you see the stables at the end of the road where you put your griffins up. There's some kind of commotion and there's lots of people milling around.
Oh shit! The Griffins have went. I think the Griffins have had a better evening of it than us.
I've had a better breakfast anyway. By the look of it, they've had a horse.
Well,
Oh, we better go and check on the griffins first, I suppose.
yeah. Head over.
Okay. You head on over. As you get close, they're like, well, they're clearly sentient and strong. Do we have a trial?
Can we be of any assistance?
I don't know. Who are you?
I'm the person asking if we can be of any assistance.
Are you a magistrate? I don't think so. Not with that accent. You don't sound iambic like us.
What's happened?
I'd
Well-
like to apologise to the Cornish people.
Well,
You all sound
Anyway.
like bloody Jethro, apparently.
Not anymore.
Mr. Tully was just trying to get some food here, and your griffin's gone and killed. Sorry, this griffin here. I think that's what it is, based on our best understanding. It's gone and killed him.
What was he doing? Did he
Mr.
aggravate
Tull?
him in any
Well,
way?
Mr. Tull can't get breakfast.
the griffins are a very proud and noble species. Did your man happen to get too close without permission?
Well, it's entirely possible.
Then I would suggest to you that this is not murder or death by misadventure, but simply an apparent case of suicide by stupidity.
But that's for a magistrate to decide.
Well, you go and get your magistrate. We'll guard the griffins through our civic duty and all that.
Well, we've already sent a runner to go and get the guards.
Well, you better make sure he gets where he's going. I mean, for fuck's sake, you've got plants moving up north that shouldn't have been going. No, God knows where your runner will have got to. He might be
Going to
running
the
up north and
guardhouse,
all.
isn't he? You idiot. Where do you think he's going to go?
He could be. Where did you think all your crops were going to go yesterday, and they all moved? Yeah, I'm just looking at Jason J. I'm this close. I'm this close. I haven't had food. I've been propositioned by a Susian. It's not been a good morning.
So, like, there's a good sort of 7 or 8 people here, and the griffins, like, well, you can't see. They're somewhere inside the stable, but unless you go into the stable, nobody else is.
I will go into the stable.
Okay, as you go into the stable, there is a mauled body lying on the floor. It's had a few bites taken out of it. And over the other end are the the griffins just kind of sleeping all atop each other, apart from the chainbreaker, who's sat next to the pile of griffins but wide awake and sees you coming in.
Does it look like griffin bites and stuff? Bear in mind we saw them eat the birds.
Yeah, it's definitely the griffins.
I bow to him.
Do you speak Thumian?
No.
No,
Do either of
Griffin.
you speak Thumian?
don't think so.
No.
No.
No, it's just Gamlarad, isn't it?
Yeah.
He rolls his eyes at you. Okay, Zeev and Gamlarad, you have finished breakfast. It was quite nice.
What
Must
do
be
you
nice
say
having
we?
breakfast.
What do you say we thank for the hospitality and go and check on the other 2?
Yes, maybe throw in a couple more coins for them. Did you see that not everybody ate?
Yeah, they asked for a couple. We gave 10. I believe that's enough. I mean, we're not going to end the food shortage with giving them more money. I mean, if you want, feel free to, but I do believe we did our part.
I'll throw some in.
Oh, thank you very kindly. Thank you very much. Do remember to keep the wound clean. Do you still have any wounds, by the way? But
Yeah, major wound.
okay.
Yeah, 1 major, 1 minor.
Keep the wound clean until it's finished healing. But I hope it's feeling a bit better today. Do keep
Way better.
rested. Do keep rested, and it should be fine soon.
Thank you very much for your assistance, for letting us eat at your table.
It was our our pleasure to have done so. And the acolyte who he gave the gold to runs up to the priest and hands him the gold immediately, and they're having some kind of discussion about fish.
Okay. Are we gonna check on the other two now?
Yes, I suppose. But it sounded like they wanted to get shit-faced, so we might find them in a bit of a state.
We are now.
World's most unintended understatement.
Okay, you head on out the temple, then round the corner, and then you see at the far end of the road the stables with all the commotion outside. And so you
Oh, for
presumably
fuck's
head on
sake.
over.
Why do I sense that they might be there?
Why have they put griffins in the stable? Oh my god, why?
We should have sticked with them a little bit longer.
We should have asked them.
Well, Simcoe, wait, Zeev, comrade, over here. There's been
Yes,
a
just-
slight accident.
Just let everybody know that we know you. That is wonderful.
So
Hey, we haven't fucking eaten. As far as I'm concerned,
What do you mean you've not eaten? It's a tavern. Don't they do all sorts in there?
Well, the Griffins,
they do all sorts in there. They do missionary 69. What they don't do is fucking breakfast.
and seeing the Griffins only follow you around, Zeev, then
There is a shortage of food.
Whose horse did they eat?
they didn't eat a horse.
Went slightly
What, one of
higher
those
up the food chain.
ostrichy things? The feather things?
They decided to try a bit of man.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's only
for fuck's sake.
he's only slightly dead.
What? How can you be slightly dead?
Well, he's not moving, and there's big chunks missing out of him. But apart from that, he's fine.
I barge, out of the way of Finney and go into the stable. to sort
Okay,
of
you
soothe
see
myself.
this heavily mauled man with a couple of nibbles taken out of him, blood everywhere, and Chainbreaker's just sat there looking impatient.
In the Griffin's defense, they probably thought he was breakfast.
I look at Chainbreaker with a very disappointed glare before calling in Gamlered to help translate.
Mhm.
You said that one of those big ostrich things would be enough. So what is this?
A hunter.
What, they wanted to kill you?
Yes. We haven't eaten him.
Has he
So
got
it was
like
self-defense. Brilliant. Let's go.
Has he got
At
any
that
kind
moment,
of
the guards turn up. All 10 of them. Well, not actually all 10 because there's 20, but no, 10 of them turn up. Right, what's going on here then? Oh dear. Well, that's not good. Right, which animal did this? We'll have to put it down.
It was that horse over there.
Absolutely.
It has this horrible
Absolutely.
rogue teeth. It's a mutant.
Look at it. Evil bloody smile. Terrible.
Is there any proof that this mold man was about to kill the griffin? Some sort of weapons like bow and arrows?
Yeah, he had a pitchfork.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh,
He wouldn't have stood a chance with just a pitchfork.
He didn't.
No.
It-
No, he didn't.
And a kitchen
Okay.
knife.
Okay. Is
And a
it?
skinning knife.
I know that you said that there were like teeth marks or like beak marks in this guy, a few of them. Is it kind of obvious with like bloodstains or something that the griffins did it?
Oh, you can tell from the bites taken out of him that is a griffin beak that's just taken a chunk out of him.
Okay.
are
Although
they
it-
somehow bruised or hurt?
Welcome to tonight's episode of CSI AFA.
No, the griffins aren't in any way harmed.
Yeah.
I was basically went in to attack one of the griffins and didn't realise they were A, intelligent, B, very strong, and C,
B4.
not brooking any of that shit.
Awake.
Yeah, and D, awake.
It was self-defense officer. He's quite plainly come to hurt these animals and
They defended themselves valiantly.
got his comeuppance.
Yeah, but we can't have an animal going around killing people.
These are not animals.
Yes, they are.
They are griffins, and
They are
mine.
griffins. They are sentient creatures of nobility and intelligence, not common steeds or animals.
Bollocks, are they? Sentient.
Well, I tell you what. Stand in front of that griffin there, and
He has a
tell him
name.
you think he's fucking stupid. And if he's actually not intelligent, he won't bite your fucking head off.
If it's intelligent, it'd have flown away already. Right, let's get the suit. Eating's
Right.
going to be good tonight, lads.
Yeah, no, we're going to have to. I was hoping we were going to be able to do this with some reason. Sadly, two things have happened. One, we're not dealing with reasonable people, and two, I'm fucking starving.
Are the guards armed with quite heavy weapons at the minute?
They have a mixture of martial weapons. Some have halberds, some have swords, some have shields. They do have various levels of armor. They appear to be Imperial soldiers, like proper Imperial soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming
telling
that the griffins' bellies are still quite big.
The griffins aren't ready to fly.
I'm telling them not to do anything rush, but we're just trying to find a way to sort things out. Because
yes, lowly translator of the Lord. Says
Gentlemen, please. Gentlemen, please.
Okay, do what the fuck
This
you
is
want. If I'm gonna get stopped by these people, it's on you.
This is clearly just a simple misunderstanding. I am sure we can all sit down and have a nice conversation, and we can completely exonerate these noble steeds. You can just put down your weapons. Let's all have a nice conversation. And if anyone's brought anything to eat, I'll have some. Thank you very much.
How?
And so will my friend Finney here, because we're both lacking.
We're all
How
hungry.
sturdy?
It's like that griffin will go around all of us.
How sturdy is the roof? Or is there any kind of fragile beam or something hanging from the top?
Well, the walls are stone. As I mentioned before, there's no wood used in this settlement. But the roof is... it's going to have to be wooden joists because there's no other way to do it, really. And then it's got tiles laid over it.
Tiles.
So from the inside, it's not particularly strong.
I was hoping it was thatched. Although in saying that, if it was a thatched roof, there was every possibility.
You'd never get through it.
Okay.
You'd never get
No,
through it.
if it was a thatched roof, there was every possibility that the fucking thatcher would run off and gone fucking off.
I grab Gamlerad and kind of bring him closer to Chainbreaker and say, I know you can't fly, but can you jump?
Of course, I'm translating everything.
That roof is fragile.
I doubt it.
Right. Well, in that case, we've got two possibilities then. We either rush these guards or we stand in front of these griffins and just go defensive on it.
Why don't
And just
we
take them as they come in.
walk out? And it's at that moment that another character turns up. It is the magistrate. She is. You think she's actually in a kind of morning robe thing. She looks quite old. And she gets into the entrance to the barn. That's right. What's the commotion here then? And she's got like a young boy, you'd say about 14, 15 years old, with her. What seems to be the commotion here? Oh,
What
dear.
do you mean just walk out?
Mr.
you mean-
Tull hasn't done terribly well, has he?
Do you mean kill them and just
This
throw them on?
this gentleman here with the nicks in him, he was trying to kill these grand and noble steeds, and these grand and noble steeds defended themselves as is their noble right.
I see. Well, let me see. Well, the life must be paid for, so I suggest the price of that is meat for 4 griffins. I've had griffin before.
These are innocent lives.
And poisonous if you eat them.
But they're animals.
They're
They
sentient
are not
animals, and that
animals.
was self-defense.
They defended themselves. They are innocent.
Sentient creatures can speak.
They can speak.
They
Even a
can
Stusian
speak.
can
They
speak.
just might not want to, considering you're biased.
Question. Do griffins have some kind of roar or like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
scream?
Basically a lion with wings, so yes.
Okay, good.
Get
In
them
that
all awake
case-
and get them roaring.
In that case, I get off on Chainbreaker and say, fine, let us walk out, but maybe scare them a bit first.
Oh, big
Chainbreaker.
flapping wings and-
Blats at the griffins in the huddle, like takes a little swipe at them, and they all kind of startle too, and gives out a roar. And the magistrate's like, "Oh, I see.
You will not
That's
take
this.
my griffins.
That's their speech, is it?"
No, I told them to roar, to scare the likes of you.
And you see her hungry-looking face looking at the griffins with a slight salivation to her lips. Well, if you won't pay the for the life, then all of your meat is forfeit.
Nice.
Guards, get the rest of the legion.
I was hoping to try and get Chainbreaker to start going forward before she
Yeah.
finishes her order.
He does, but he takes so much time about it because the other griffins are coming too, and Chainbreaker wants his full flock with him. So he does start moving forward, but she has completed her order. Outside, the guards are forming up.
Is it just one entrance to the barn?
Yeah, but it's a big wide entrance, like a double
Okay.
garage door, basically.
Shame we haven't got a big bale of hay we could just chuck at them like bowling.
There's loose hay.
Yeah, they did bail well then, didn't they?
No.
So the two of the other griffins. Cracked Beak comes up to Martin, kind of expecting you to get on. Lost Feather comes up to Finny. Chip Talon ignores Gabnerad.
Chip Talon. I just kind of brandish the, what was it, the stick or the rod or something.
Rod. I don't remember that.
Yeah. I acquired the stick.
That's
Don't remember that at all. Okay.
All right.
Was it a stick of griffin whipping or something?
Yeah.
Right. He hisses at you and then basically stares at Gamlarad, sort of waiting for Gamlarad to get onto him rather than him going to Gamlarad, because it seems
Get
to be
on.
important to Chip Talon that he doesn't go out of his way.
Get on them. Get on them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
I see.
basically, I'm guessing
Right.
you kind of line up in the entrance to the stable, ready to march out. So
I
you're
say
sort
to the
of
magistrate, oh, if I was you, I'd clear your people out of the way.
Yeah. Preferably pick up enough speed so if they're still in the way, we trample them.
okay. So,
Grab the magistrate by the scruff of the neck.
are you riding the griffin, or are you going for the?
I'm
grab.
riding the griffin, and
Yeah, me too.
So
Yeah,
basically, you're three of you are sprinting forward, line abreast, and Martin is trying to, I guess, outflank the 10 men in order to get around them to get to the magistrate.
oh, is she behind them now?
Well, she would be, wouldn't she? I mean, she's not going to stand at the front of her armored men.
She's only in a
Oh,
bathrobe.
Yeah. She's there in a dressing gown, thinking she's going to get, griffin meat for breakfast.
Well, in that
So
case,
you
line it
you
up
all
the rest of them then.
you all four charge forward then, aiming to go through the line rather than fight it, presumably.
Yep.
All right. So charging forward then, 4 griffin abreast. Let us have. What would this be?
I have no cards, by the way.
Yeah, it's not going to be you.
Depends on what you need us to do.
Well, if you're basically charging through the line, I think it's going to be a martial check, because it's kind of like a battle leadership type thing, isn't it? So
Yeah,
who can organize the charge best?
I have
I got-
2 in that.
I got
I have-
3.
I have 2. Right. 3 beats all.
You are outnumbered, so I'm going to make it a difficulty of 2.
We are helping him.
We are helping him, yes.
We're helping.
I mean, you've already got quite a nice crit already, but if you
Yeah,
can do
but that
better,
might
great.
not be enough. That's what
It
I'm
might
scared
not.
about.
Hmm.
Yeah, fuck. I'm going for high numbers. Is that low, right? As always.
Yeah, it's a skill test, not an actual attack.
Yeah, I'll try and do my best because my cards are shit, guys. Of course.
Okay.
Ooh.
You charge forward, aiming to break through and scatter their line, but as you charge, they brace their halberds in place. The lines clash, and your griffins take heavy wounds against their embedded pikes. And then the rest of their line jump up and haul you off the griffins, and it ends up in a big bundle on the floor as your griffins are bounced off their defensive line. And it's a big brawl.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, I didn't go according to plan.
It really didn't.
Yeah.
Did
Like I need any more reason
Did our
for.
helping card actually do a damn thing?
Helping card.
Well,
were
we were all
helping.
helping, didn't we get an advantage?
No, somebody had to be a leadership type thing for leading the charge and issuing the charge order. It's not like you're going to have like a battle map tactic out and then plot it together.
As I did any more
That
reasons
way!
for Chip Talon to hate me. I'm failing the check, of course.
He's holding years of slavery against you, basically.
Yeah, like I was the one enslaving him.
Yeah, but
You're
you
fine.
do speak the language.
Yeah, of
And you're a
course.
dwarf. So yeah, it's a huge brawl, and it's going to be messy, and it's 10:15. So let's deal with that next session.
Oh,
Okay.
you never stop right before a combat. That's
I
interesting.
don't like doing it as a general rule, because it starts the next session off with a load of skill checks rather than with role playing.
But that means I
But
get cards.
at the same time, though, we've done a lot of role playing building up to that, so it does even out.
Yeah, but if you start a session with a load of skill checks, it tends to make the session very skill checky. So as a rule, as a GM, I try to avoid starting a session as a combat. So I was rather hoping you'd pass that. But saying that,
Well,
if I really wanted you to pass it, I probably shouldn't have critical. But
Indeed.
Yeah.
at some points, you've got to have a combat. So yeah, we'll just have a big fight next week. It gives me a chance to sort out 10 NPC characters and stuff like
Nice.
that. Well,
Oof.
11. And some civilians that are also hungry with kitchen knives.
Only 10 should be easy.
Yeah, you're going to get mullered. It's going to be the end of the campaign, I imagine.
Yeah, I suppose.
Good luck with that. It's AFA. It's not a heroic system.
We finished the last one with a big fight. I mean, all died.
Yeah, but that one you very much instantiated it. This
we
I
did,
kind
yeah.
of put on you. Whereas your TPK was you charging at the big villain NPC and me going, you know what? It's the big villain NPC of the campaign. I can't just have you have a nerfed fight against it, and I don't particularly want him to just evade because you haven't really even said it like you trapped him inside his carriage and then right with it. So no, I just rolled it as his stats. And you TPK'd.
It was just the way it happened.
That's the big villain. You can't do a hand.
No, you can't half-ass the villain.
So it was supposed to be just a little introduction to him because I like to introduce the villains before you meet them for the finale. You see, and you're like, no, let's go kill him.
He went and killed our friend.
Exactly. I mean, there was
Yes,
no
I
way we
wanted to-
weren't going to do it.
Wanted
He'll
to
get away
set up
with that
how
sort of thing.
powerful he was and show you.
You can't
Scary.
say that you want to set this whole thing up and when you in particular with Cthulhu, you just go right past all the baddie character development and who are they? No, let's just kill them. They do magic. Fucking kill them.
I shot the Black Pharaoh in the face. What could go wrong?
He appears on the throne. I pull out my gun.
I smash up all his stuff.
He demands I worship him. Well, I demand he worships me. God damn it, he's an imbecile. Think you're some kind of god? I remember that. But yeah.
France
So,
found
yes.
the
So now you
throne.
see why we've done the same, or at least it's similar.
Anyway. Yeah, so that's it for this week. Oh, thank you for whoever tuned in at the end there. Don't know who it is, but hello.
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 We're going to pick it up next Saturday. Until then,
Yes.
on Monday, of course, last Monday. And
Wasky wasky.
this particular campaign, I think we're approaching the end, but we're not quite there yet. So it's
Yeah.
2-3 more episodes at absolute most. I actually wondered if you'd finish tonight, but you went south.
Was it waiting for us to do something stupid, really?
No, it's like you're so close to the grand finale, but
Well, of course we go the other direction then.
yeah. So no, it'll take you a little longer to get there. So it might be next session, might be session after. At a push, it might be the one beyond that.
All right.
But you're getting there. So I'm going to end this broadcast now, and then I'm going to run up to the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.